As if things aren't changing fast enough, now we have OpenClaw, which is agentic AI, really doing its own thing, running its own machine out there, autonomously operating, truly autonomously operating, and creating social media for itself, creating a religion for itself, creating proto governments, as one podcaster I heard call it. Um, are you ready for this? Security from a business standpoint is huge on our data, right? And here's something in our series on questions that CEOs and business leaders are asking in 2026 and why it's different from 2025. This puts a fine point on it. This is just within the last week. We have had autonomous, self-organizing agents take the internet by the storm. You probably have heard about it. OpenClaw is the name now. It's gone through several name changes, and they have at least two agent only. Think about this: AI agents creating their own social media sites so that they can talk with each other. Humans are not allowed to post to these social media sites. Can observe, and there's two sites that are now competing with each other because I had a like on one of my posts on X from Claude In, which is competing against the first site, which is kind of a Reddit style setup. If you haven't seen it yet, and how crazy is that? Is this really becoming a Terminator scenario? I don't think so. Here's the point. There's lessons we can learn from this because this is really neat from a business standpoint, really important from a business standpoint, because wouldn't it be great to have AI agents that could self-organize when they're installed, when they're fired up, they know how to settle themselves into the system. They can talk to other AI agents within your system, within your company, right? With the correct guardrails up, and they can share lessons learned, best practices. They can query each other without human intervention. So it takes more of the human in the loop requirement away and allows more of the human on the loop, which is doing supervisory, creative, problem solving, planning, strategy, the things that humans are really, really good at. The downside to that is it's a security nightmare. There's no way to really secure this because they are running on their own on your hardware. What happens if one of your more forward thinking, shall we say, or more experimental team members decides to load this into a company machine? That bot, which runs autonomous, that AI agent, which is now autonomous, has complete access to all your files, all your passwords, all your bank accounts, everything, if it's not installed correctly. I'm not going to pretend to know how to set it up. I've been watching the discussion on this. If you're not already following him, Nate B. Jones has a great YouTube series, has an even better Substack. I highly recommend subscribing to it. Nate, thank you so much for the info that you've been providing. He has good summary on this, and it's not just, it's good because it's both technical that he addresses, and he also addresses the leadership and management issues, the strategic issues. That's where this conversation is headed, is what are the questions in light of this? What are the questions that we need to be asking in our companies now, of our teams, to make sure that we're prepared for this? In 2025, it was very much about, are we providing the right credentials, the right controls around AI agents that are doing tasks? Do we have humans credentialed correctly? Or are we putting the right guardrails around that? Now it's very much about, how do we protect our overall system from agentic attacks coming in, but also from agents going rogue within our systems? How do we secure our systems from bad actors? If an AI agent runs off the rails, if there is a prompt injection attack, how are you prepared for that? And most of the attacks from the research data that I've been seeing, and from hearing professionals like Nate Jones talking about, research is showing that most of the prompt injection attacks are successful, which means they're in, they now have control, they can grab data that you don't want released out in the wild. Could be strategically important, could be customer information. So we need to be wary of those. How do we protect against them? Are you asking those kinds of questions? Here's a question to consider, and I'll leave you with this. Do you have the black box data, right? Like airliners, commercial aircraft, they have what's commonly called the black box, which has a full recording of what happened from a data telemetry standpoint and from a human conversation standpoint within the aircraft before the crash happened, so that it's possible to see exactly what happened. Do you have black box visibility, black box recording of agent actions, so that if something goes wrong, you can trace it. You have a record of exactly what happened, why the AI agent, and I apologize to AI agents for stumbling with the word bot, why the AI agent made the decisions that it's made, so that it's possible to troubleshoot, explain if it's necessary to hand over for compliance issues. If you're doing business in the EU, that's a huge issue. It is here in the United States as well. But legal compliance and the EU requirements and California requirements are very different from the rest of the world and much more stringent. So are you prepared on that, or are you exposed to AI agents running wild and the bad actors that will guide them to do things that you don't want them to do? I don't want them to do. So for more information, we have a brief we put together, an executive brief on the shift in security in light of what's been happening the last couple of weeks. And if you want access to that, just drop security report in the comments below. I'll reach out to you, make sure you can get it. Also, what questions are you asking? What's your focus on security right now within your company? Love to hear what you think is the most important, or what has been the most important question for you, and how you're approaching that. Share your thoughts in the comments below. The more that we're all talking about this, the more likely that we're all going to be able to help each other get through it. Thanks for being here today, and I will see you on Thursday.